All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rekakwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone who do rule and teach woe. And peace and salutations to all you Akim out there pushing this truth across the four winds so we can seal the elect and make it to the kingdom. All right, it's the brother Yurah. Lord willing, coming back to you through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Lord willing to feed the body and edify the sheep in all spirit, faith, truth, sincerity, and doctrine. All right. Lord willing. All right. So as you can see with the title, all right. So who's really in control of Babylon the Great, aka America? Who's really in control? All right. And that is a question, which we already know the answer to. All right. Those of us that are in the know that the Lord has revealed his secrets unto. All right. But you out there listening and learning, all right, or wondering or pondering upon your mind with everything going on, you should ask yourself that question, man. Okay. Which, Lord willing, towards the end of this lesson, all right, you will know the answer. Okay. It's not that hard to see. Okay. The scripture says that there's going to come a time where that man of sin is going to be revealed. Okay. And we're in that time. All right. We're living in that time where that man of sin is being revealed. Okay. More and more. It's becoming more and more obvious. Okay. All right. That it's Esau Edom, man. All right. The nation of Esau Edom. All right. The so-called white man, woman, and child, beginning with the elite banking families. All right. And even those small hats over there, man. Okay. Which we're going to get into. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the body and the feast, the sheep through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Now let me play this video. Okay. Let's go to this video here really quick.
States that boycott Israel will no longer receive help during disaster. Starting today, any state or city that does not punish companies that boycott Israel will no longer be eligible for federal assistance during disaster, such as hurricanes, earthquakes, floods, and tornadoes. Last month, during the floods in Texas, people had to sign an oath to Israel to promise to never boycott them to receive aid. And now Trump's taken it even further, signing an order that forces all 50 states to do business with Israeli companies and cities in those states, or their federal funding for emergencies will be cut. This is life-saving funding, by the way. Forcing all 50 states to boost Israel's economy, or you will literally put the lives of the people in your state at risk. If your city's hit with a hurricane and doesn't hit the Israeli business quota, the federal government will not help you, and you will be stranded on top of your house, just because your government didn't work with Israel's government. This is effective today. We are an occupied country. Founding fathers just rolled in their graves.
All right. So as you can see, all right, you heard it there loud and clear, man. All right. Look, it says Trump pulls funding for states who don't support, those small hats over there, man. Okay. You see? Who's really in control of America, man? All right. Who's really in control of America? All right. And the prophets of Yahweh Shemel Shai, we've been telling you people for decades now, man. All right, starting with the apostles of Great Millstone, man, on down. You're not free, man. Okay. We are yet this day in our captivity, man. You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native and Seminole Indians people, okay, you Israelites, for damn sure, man. All right. This is our captivity. Okay. And this man is so wicked. Okay, these people are so wicked that they even put their own people in the same category, a captivity. All right, but who's really running America? All right, so Trump issued a warning to all 50 states in America that if they don't support, the small hats over there in the land of Israel, that they're not going to receive funding. Oh man, that's just a Instagram video, man. You can't believe everything that you hear or see on the internet. That doesn't mean it's true. Well, yeah, it is true. Okay. It is true. Right here, Newsweek. And it's plenty other articles, but I just pulled this one here. All right. Newsweek.com. Look at here. Trump administration issues a new warning to states. And look, this was published August 4th. Okay. Look. The Trump administration will deny federal disaster preparedness aid to U.S. states and cities that boycott Israeli companies. See, so if you say anything negative towards the small hats over there in the land, all right, and whatever they're doing, their actions or anything, because that's been happening a lot lately, man. Okay, because the world has two eyes, then they can see clearly that what they're doing over there to those Palestinians, okay, bombing their bombing the hospitals, killing children, and et cetera, man. They can clearly see that that's evil, man. Okay, it's not right. And you have a lot of people speaking out about it, especially over here in America. Okay. So most likely those small hats came and whispered in Trump's ear and said, hey, look, you're going to have to shut them the fuck up. Excuse my French. Hey, look, you're going to have to shut them the hell up. And now he's putting out this thing, where that he's going to deny, hey, look, it's been a lot of disasters happening lately. Floods, earthquakes in diverse places, wildfires, storm and tempest. You see that from now on, if any type of natural disaster hits your states, and those states are allowing the companies and the cities and towns within their states to go against the Israelis and what they're doing and talk negatively about them, then guess what? We're not going to send you any more aid. You see, this. Hey, look, we're getting closer to that draconian type of society, man. Okay, draconian meaning, for the most minute crimes, all right, you're going to get the harshest punishments. Let's continue. It says the grant notices post Friday. It says the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, said applicants must comply with its terms and conditions. And what's that term and condition? Don't say anything about the small hats. All right. Look the other way. No matter what they're doing, don't say anything about it. You see? Which includes certifying that they will not cut off commercial relations specifically with Israeli companies, okay, to remain eligible for assistance, see, financial assistance. All right. And you here, well, let me read this next one here. It says it states a discriminatory prohibited boycott means refusing to deal, cutting commercial relations, or otherwise limiting commercial relations specifically with Israeli companies or with companies doing business in or with Israel, or authorized by, licensed by, or organized under the laws of Israel to do business. See? All right. So even though they're over there doing devilish and wicked things, all right, for the world to see, you see, you can't boycott them, and you have to continue to be friends with them and do business with them. All right. So that they can make their money. So who really is in control of America, man? Okay. There's a saying out there that if you want to know who's really the boss or who's really in control, all right, find out who you can't speak against. Find out who you can't talk about. Find out who you can't point the finger at. And there's your boss. Okay. And it's clearly, all right, here in America, it's clearly, all right, the small hats over there, man. Okay. So let me get this here. All right, before we read that version, let me get this. Let's get the King James version first, and then we'll come back to that. All right, it's the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1 in the KJV. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds." All right, it's talking about these Edomites, man. Okay, all right, the wicked that the Bible speaks of, man, the devil. Okay, they are in control of the world today. All right, and as you can see, All right, they're the ones that you can't put the blame on. You can't say anything negatively about them. Okay, it says when it is morning, it's like when the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands, and they have the power. Okay, so let's go back to that GNT, the Good News Translation. All right, so same book, same chapter, same verse. All right. It says how terrible it will be for those who lie awake and plan evil. See? And it's definitely going to be terrible, man. All right. Esau Edom will be judged, all right, by the hand of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay. It says when morning comes, as soon as they have the chance, see, they do evil they planned. See? All right, that word so like a prescribe, all right, pre meaning what is that? Right, scribe meaning written or planned, right? To scribe something is to write it down already, right? And pre meaning already before. You see, so they already planned this before, man. Okay, you see, that's why here it says they do evil. They planned it already. You see. All right. Now let me go to something else, okay? Because notice in the video, okay, he said that Texas, all right, remember Texas had that flood. All right, let's go to it here. All right, Texas had that flood, all right, that disastrous flood that just hit Texas not that long ago. Okay, as you can see here. All right. And in the video, the guy said that Texas had to make a deal. All right, before Trump sent any aid through FEMA to help the people of Texas, all right, the state of Texas had to make a deal with the government, okay, to never speak ill and to always do business with the Israelis, okay, the small hats over there, okay, in order to receive that FEMA help, okay, and financial aid. See, let me also get this here. All right. And look at all the disasters. As you can see, I typed here how many natural disasters have happened in 2025. Okay. You see, and it says it is impossible to definitively say how many natural disasters have occurred in 2025 so far because there's so many. Okay, look at right here on the side. Natural disasters have caused more than 131 billion $131 billion in losses so far, all right, in the United States. Okay. See? That and there's another reason why, you got Trump using, that as an upper hand. See, like, look, we're already losing money. So if you want us to give you money, guess what? Be quiet, look the other way when it comes to the Israelis, okay? And continue to do business with them so that they can make their quota. Okay. See? So who really runs America, man? All right. But as you can see here, all right, top stories. All right. The surprising reasons. Watching your wallet. Okay. So let me see. Watching your wallet. How storm chasers are looking. Okay. Whatever. 2025 natural disasters drive. Yep. We already read that. All right. See, look, it's so much stuff going on, man. Okay. What's being reported is the Grand Canyon. Okay. Let me put that in there. The Grand Canyon. Okay. Grand Canyon fire. Okay. All right. I don't know if brothers heard about this yet. All right. Let me wait for it to load. All right. But right here you have the Grand Canyon fire of 2025 this year. Okay. Grand Canyon's Dragon Bravo, okay, fire reaches mega fire status, surpassing 100,000 acres. Okay. See? So the Grand Canyon is on fire, man. Okay. All right. And then you have storms and tempests. All right. You have hurricanes getting ready because it is hurricane season. You have hurricanes getting ready to hit the south. All right, like Florida, Louisiana, North and South Carolina, and etc. You see, you just had what floods in New Jersey, also floods in New York. Okay, so there are disasters going on all across America, man, and this is why the Trump administration, man, is issuing this new warning to the states, man, using it as leverage, okay, for you to keep your mouth sealed and your mouth closed when it comes to those small hats, man. Okay. All right. Because they're really the ones in control. Okay. That's the point. All right. They're really the ones in control. So let me get this here. Let me get this here. Let me get the book of Isaiah. All right. Isaiah 10 and 1. All right. And I want to get that in the KJV. All right. I'm trying to switch it up. All right. Make sure I'm still recording. All right, cool. All right, Isaiah 10 and 1. All right, in the KJV, it says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed." See, prescribed, pre-written, all right, pre-planned. Okay. Let me also get that in the, let's see, in the GNT. I want to see what it says. All right. Same book, same chapter, same verse. All right. In the GNT, it says, "You are doomed. You make unjust laws that oppress my people." That's right, man. Okay. And Esau is doomed, man. Okay. But we know, according to prophecy, okay, that, we're going to enter into a time, all right, like no other. All right. Let me get that. I want to get it in the KJV. All right. We're going to enter into a time like no other, man. Okay. All right. And I got a little more information too, but let me grab this here. All right. Let's see. Matthew 24 and 21. All right. 24, 21 through 22. All right. All right. So St. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 21 through 22, KJV, it says, "For then shall be great tribulation, all right, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time." Okay. So anything in history you can think of, any disasters, any wars, any plagues, any, evil times. All right. It's not going to equate to what's about to happen here in America. Okay. It's about to get very, very dark and evil out here, man. Okay. It says, and except those days be shortened, all right, there should no flesh be saved. It's about to get that bad out here, man. Okay. That the Lord has to shorten the days, all right? So that what? So that the elect of the nation of Israel, man, okay, the Israelites, the elect of Yasha Allah can be saved. It says, "But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened." Okay. And I'm just curious. Let me get it in the GNT. All right, the GNT. Same book, same chapter, same verses. It says, for the trouble at that time will be far more terrible than any there has ever been." See? "For the beginning of the world," it's like from the beginning of the world to this very day, "nor will there ever be anything like it again." That's right, because after Babylon the Great, after this kingdom, all right, is thrown down, okay, the next kingdom to rise and rule, all right, is going to be the kingdom of heaven, okay, the kingdom of Yahweh Shai, okay, which he's going to share that rulership with his people, man. All right, the Israelites, okay. So the righteous is going to rule, and guess what? There will be no more wars, okay. Verse 22, it says, "But Yahweh has already reduced the number of days." See, had he not done so, nobody would survive. Okay, not even the elect. See, so he had to reduce the number of the days. It says, "For the sake of his chosen people, however, Yahweh will reduce the days." That's right, man. That's right. Okay. Let me get one more, and then I want to bring out some more information. Then we'll close it out. Okay. Proving who's actually in control of Babylon the Great, aka America. All right. Let me see here. Yeah, let me get this. The book of St. Luke, chapter 21 and verse 11. Okay. Because the Lord, hey, look, it's prophesied that all of these things are going to happen. Okay. These aren't just natural disasters that's just, happening out of the blue. No, man. Okay. No matter, even if Esau is genetically modifying the weather and causing certain earthquakes and disasters and things like that. Okay. It's still prophecy, man. Okay. Remember, in the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, okay, verse 1 and 2. All right, the Lord said that the minds or the hearts of the kings, all right, are in the Lord's hands. Okay, He controls what they do. Okay, He controls what they think. Okay, just like He controls everybody's thoughts and actions. Okay, there's no free will. So this is St. Luke chapter 21, verse 11. It says, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places. All right, you're seeing earthquakes and tsunamis and things like that. Okay, in certain places of the world, hell, even here in Babylon the Great, aka America, man, that you've never heard, or even seen, or that area has even experienced earthquakes. Okay, it says in famines. Okay, a famine is a scarcity of food. Okay, a lack of bread. All right. It says in pestilences. Okay, the dis-ease of the body. Right. It says in fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. Okay. All right. You have the blood moons back to back to back. All right. You have the solar eclipses. Okay. Over the years that were back to back to back. Okay. And most importantly, you have the signs or so like the sightings of the chariots of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay. What the world ignorantly calls UFOs. Okay. Those aren't aliens in those in those ships. Okay. Those are angels, all right? Our brethren, the brethren of the Israelites, okay? But the Lord right here, as we read, okay, this is prophecy, man. Okay, so it isn't just a coinkadink. All right, so let me get one more. And then, well, you know what? Here, how about this? I want to bring out this information. Okay, so who's really in charge? Okay, now I remember in my one of my last lessons. Let me wait till this load up. All right. Now I remember inside of my last lesson, okay, I brought out the fact that the United States of America, or Babylon the Great, had recently made a deal while everyone was distracted. Okay, they recently made a deal with the small hats over there in the land of Israel. Okay, as far as when it comes to sharing the data of the people here in America with the state of Israel, okay, and the people over there in Israel. You see, so the people over there in Israel has access to the Americans' data. Okay, when I brought that out in one of my past lessons. Okay, but just to add to that, okay, you see, I says is Chat GPT collecting data for AI? Okay, it says yes, Chat GPT collects data to improve its AI models. All right, including prompts and responses. Okay, so pretty much this is telling you that Chat GPT, which a lot of Americans use Chat GPT, okay, for a lot of different reasons, even some weird reasons. Okay, you even have Americans, or like, certain types of people here in America that even worship our Chat GPT. Okay, which is weird, but hey, the scriptures talk about how that there are going to be many gods, and these people are going to worship many gods, especially in the last days, which we are in now. Okay, but as you can see, Chat GPT collects your data, okay, for AI, and don't forget that they they have these what do they call them, data centers? Okay, data centers. mega data centers all over America. Okay. All right. Where all of these big tech companies, all right, all agree to hand over the information of all Americans, and dump it into AI. Okay. And by you using Chat GPT, okay, it's collecting more data. Okay. You see? Now I asked Chat GPT, all right, a question. I said, who is the owner of Chat GPT? Okay. And it gave me all of this, other information, but I wanted to focus on this right here. It says Open AI Incorporated. Okay. It says Chat GPT is owned and operated by Open AI. Now I asked it another question here. Who's the main owner of Open AI? Okay, it says the main owner of OpenAI is not a person or a company, all right, in the traditional sense, because OpenAI is controlled by a nonprofit organization, all right, and they give these different you know um, key factors here, blah 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 da, da, da. All right, and I said who started right here? Who started Chat GPT? Okay, it says Chat GPT was started by OpenAI, right? And it gave off a list of individuals who actually is in control of Chat GPT right now. But this name right here, okay, the CEO of OpenAI, who owns Chat GPT, okay. So Sam Altman, okay, Sam Altman, okay. So I asked this question here, okay, is Sam Altman of Jewish descent? Okay, it says what? It says, yay, Sam Altman is Jewish. See? And that's all you need to know, man. Okay, that's all you need to know. Okay, so who's really in control? Who's really collecting your data? Okay, from AI? What is AI really? Who is AI really working for? Okay, these people right here. Okay, not just this guy, but these people. Okay, so who's really in control of Babylon the Great, aka America? All right, who's causing Trump? All right, or telling Trump, all right, to make these states or the people here in America, all right, to keep their freaking mouth closed, all right, and continue to do business, all right, with the small hats over there, the small hats, they're telling them, okay, and they're the ones that are in control, man, okay, you see, because the scripture says what? See, look, this is gonna bring a division. Okay. Matter of fact, let's get that out of here. All right. This is gonna bring what? It's gonna bring division. Okay. Let's see. Division. All right. Let's grab this right quick. So this is the book of let me see. Let me see. No. Let me see. But the Lord said he came to bring division. Okay. Let's see. But rather division. Let's just get that one and get straight to the point. All right. The book of St. Luke, chapter 12, verse 51. Okay. It says, I tell you nay, but rather division. Well, let me go into this. All right. I want to read the scripture right before it. Verse 50. All right. Book of St. Luke, chapter 12, verse 50, it says, and this is red letter too, so you know who's speaking, Yahweh Shai. It says, but I have a baptism to be baptized with. And how am I straightened till it be accomplished? Right? Let's go. Come on. Salakia. It says, suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth. I tell you nay. So nay means no. Okay. So the Lord is not coming to give peace on earth, to take all the nations and have them holding hands and just kumbaya and hug each other and say, you know what, man, let's forget about our differences. Well, let's just live as in love, one another and be one people. And no, the Lord ain't coming to bring that. He the one has you divided. Okay, right here. but rather division. So the Lord ain't coming to bring peace on earth, man. He's coming to bring division. All right. Even after he shows up, okay, even after he returns, he's going to divide the nations, man. Okay. You see? Let's see. And they're going to go into captivity. Okay. So let's just get this scripture here and then we'll close it out. All right. The book of Isaiah. All right. Isaiah 19. Inside joke. Isaiah 19 and verse 4. All right. This is what the Lord has placed over you people, man. All right. You people that trust in oppression, you people that trust in America. Make America great again. I will vote for Donald Trump. You know, you coon Israelites, man. All right. Hand in hand with the wicked, man. This is what the Lord placed over you, man. Since you wanted a king, here you go. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 4, all right, KJV, and it reads, and the Egyptians, okay, and this is modern Egypt, okay, as it is written in the scriptures, okay, Babylon the Great is spiritually Sodom and Egypt, okay, so it's talking about America, all right, so it's talking about not the actual Egyptians, but you Americans. And the Egyptians, or the Americans, will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, all right, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord Yahweh, the Lord of hosts. Man, let me read that in the GNT. All right, I'm just curious to see what it says. All right. Same book, same chapter, same verse, but in the GNT. And it reads, I will hand the Egyptians, or the Americans, over to a tyrant. All right. Is not Trump a tyrant? Okay. It says, to a cruel king who will rule them. All right. I, the Lord Almighty, or Yahweh, have spoken it. See? All right. So that's what's happening right now, man. All right. You people are being forced in these different states. Okay. Because guess what? The moment you stand a boycott against those small hats over there, all right, the higher ups, the kings and the princes of your state, your particular state, is going to come up against you, man. Okay, they're going to shut you down. Why? Because they want to continue to get that aid. And guess what? And if they don't, all right, because you're going to have states that are going to be divided, okay, against the government. Okay, great division. Okay, you're going to have war and scuffles and civil war and race riots and all of these things are happening, man. All right, and it's going to happen. Okay, get ready. All right, so who is in control? Who is in control of Babylon the Great, aka America? The small hats. Okay. All right. And if you can't see it, I don't know what to tell you, man. Okay. You're just lost. Okay. Get ready for the missiles. All right. So with that, I'm going to leave it there. Lord willing, it's edifying to the body, and it fed the sheep through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. Shalom.